Hey, how's it going? Doing another video. Something else that's been on my mind. Uh, Basically, what the title reads. I'm gonna say it now. Men, talking all men. I'm not talking about those that identify as men, because you're not a man. You need to man up. We need to man up. Explain what I mean by that. When a man and woman marry, as the Bible says, they intertwine, the man leaves his home, leaves his parents, wife leaves her parents, and the two join together and become intertwined and become one. At that point, God has always deemed the husband, the man and wife, he's always deemed the man as head of household. He tells the husband, love your wife as he loves the church. Christ. Well, God says it. Love your wife as I love the church. God, Christ, however you want to say it. But love your wife as I have loved the church. And go back and look to see how he loved the church. He loved it. He loved it enough that he laid his life down. He loved it enough that he fulfilled the He fulfilled the He fulfilled salvation being offered, being available to us. I'm not going to try to fight for words here tonight. To the wife, she's supposed to respect her husband. That means God speaks to him. If he's a godly person, God speaks to him, and she's supposed to listen. She's supposed to obey. Now, she may or may not agree, and that's fine, but she's still supposed to obey. Now, am I saying that you two shouldn't talk about things? That you shouldn't get her thoughts on certain things in the home, like about the kids or about the house itself, or whatever the case is. No, I'm not saying that. That doesn't give man the right to be physically or verbally abusive. Doesn't give him a right to use her as a punching bag or a footstool. He's still supposed to love her as Christ loved the church. But she's still supposed to listen. And I'll explain why. I don't need to really explain this, because this is not nothing you guys haven't heard before. I've over the years, I've seen it time and time again. And I've seen men not understand why people can see that they don't have the authority that they should have over their households, and that they're bowing down to their wives because they're scared, or because they're trying to avoid an argument or a fight. Well, there wouldn't be an argument or fight if she understood You said it, you spoke it, she does it. And if she has a problem, she can go pray to God about it and let God deal with you. That's how it's supposed to go. It's kind of like getting pulled over by a police officer for a law that you disagree with. That's fine, you disagree with it. It doesn't change that it's still a law. He's going to still write you the ticket, and you're going to disagree, and that's fine. There's no point in having an argument right there on the side of the road like you would have an argument with your husband right there, out in public, just to show your ass. Take it to court, or in this, with the traffic ticket, take it to court. Discuss it with the judge. The judge has the final say on the ruling. Just like you take it to God, God's the judge. God's got the final say on the ruling. You can't argue that. If you do argue with that, then this ain't going to do you no good anyway. Because you got your own beliefs, right or wrong, fact or fiction, fact or whatever, fact or opinion, and you're not going to listen, period. So anyway, you still should, give your wife a chance to speak on her behalf and discuss things with you, discuss her perspective or her point of view or her, her viewpoint. She's still a human. You're trying to show her love. You're trying to love on her like Christ loved the church. And she could be, she could have a better viewpoint. But you need to learn how to trust your gut and grow and develop mentally so that you can make these choices. Because that's what you signed up for. It's what you agreed to when you said, I do. You agreed to take all that responsibility. It's like I said, it's not about getting physical with them. Please don't. It's not about, everyone trying to, one up the other one on having a smart mouth. It ain't worth it. But I'll let you know this. We also know, no matter what happens, well, if you bow down to her and let her have her way all the time, like you're not supposed to, or if you correct her and say, "Woman, I've made my statement. Case closed." Well, if you're right or wrong, she's gonna give you the stink eye. She's gonna give you that sass look. If she doesn't respect you, if she does respect you, she's just gonna say, "Yes, dear." And then maybe, if it's a mistake, God's gonna slap you on the back of the head, and you're gonna get your head straight, and then you're gonna realize, and you're gonna, "Hey, honey, I apologize. I wasn't looking at it from all perspectives. I would like to correct, or would like to change my decision." And then there's times you're going to be absolutely correct, and she just doesn't want to hear it. And if it's about the kids, she may just not want to hear it. But she's got to get control of those kids. She's got to show the kids that you respect that she respects her father, and what he says goes, even if they disagree. Because in the end, regardless if you're right or if you're wrong in your decisions, I'll start right here. Regardless if you're right or you're wrong in those decisions, when you die, make no mistake, you will stand before God on Judgment Day without an excuse about those decisions. You will answer for every single one of them. And you may or may not come out on top with it. But even worse, here's how plan B would go. You let her do all the decision making because you don't think it's going to fall back on you. You think you're saving yourself from a horrible judgment day, and you figure, well, when I get there and just say, well, God, she made me do it. God, it's all her fault. This was her choice. This woman which you gave to me. Stop and remember who else did that. I'll give you a hint. It was in the Garden of Eden. How well did that work out for him? Adam tried to blame God for him letting her talk him into partaking of the tree of good of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, tree of knowledge, and well, that'll be a whole different subject. He tried to blame God. God, this woman which you gave to me. God's like, whoa, hold it, buddy, hold it. I gave you dominion, though. You're the one that let her talk your dumb ass into it. It's not what was actually said, but it's pretty much, I mean, it's not verbatim, but you can figure out, that's one way to look at it. That's what God, told Adam. I gave her to you, buddy. I gave her to you as somebody so that way you're not lonely. I gave her to you to have dominion. You were supposed to have dominion over her. Just like the animals. The fish, plants, trees, shrubs, whatever. And this is what you did. And now you're trying to say it's my fault. Because you let her talk you into a sin. No. You had a choice and you made it. Period. Is that what you want to deal with come Judgment Day? Because I can tell you right now, if that's why you're doing it, I just proved to you, I just told you, just reminded you how that plan's not going to work. You can try to sell it all you want to, but guess what? You ain't going to be the first salesman. You ain't going to be the last. Adam was the first, and you ain't going to be the last one to try to sell that bullshit. Best thing you can do, man up. Take control of your home. Not in a mean way, in an authoritative way. Under God's authority. Get things straight in between. If you ain't straight between you and God yet, get that straight. And then pray to Him that He gives you the unction to do this. He gives you the power. He gives you He gives you whatever you feel like you need. And don't go softballing it. Now, if you got one of those types of women that they don't take authority very kindly and, they don't think that their shit stinks, well, sorry to say it might end up getting physical with her, from her, and you may end up having to call the authorities. And yes, I promise you, that pair of silver bracelets fits on her wrist just as beautifully as they will yours. And depending on the size of the woman, it might take 2 or 3. Hell, let's just bring on the shackles. Screw it. Let's go all out. Hog tie her. That's what's got happen. Make sure they hog tie her. If that's what's going to happen. You got to get your balls out of your spouse's purse. You got to get your balls out of your wife's purse. That's not where they're supposed to be. Unless you never had balls to start with, then I suggest you better start growing a pair. Because you ain't getting out of this. And whatever you already done or let her do, and it was all fucked up, you better start asking for forgiveness. Start turning that around. Repent. But yeah, I mean, and you don't need to get physical to make this, to change this. And you don't even have to really get verbal. You just say what needs to be said, and if she's smarting off, you just walk away. Don't give her a chance. Just walk away. And if she starts, hey, don't you turn your back when I'm talking, you just keep on walking like you didn't even hear. And if she gets physical, well, you call the police. If she gets too physical too much, you may have to defend yourself and get physical back. But I can tell you right now, if you have to get physical back, it ain't going to take but one shot of whack-a-mole to her. Playing one shot of whack-a-mole is all it's going to take with her. Because as soon as she sees that you're not walking away from her anymore, and she's done pushed you too far, and you do come back and smack her one good time and put her on the ground, she's going to have fear. And sorry, but that might be the best thing for her. She needs to fear God before she fears you, but it might take her fearing you and going and crying to God about it. And then God looks at her and go, young lady, I tried to tell you. You just wouldn't ever listen to me. I've been trying to tell you. You ain't been listening. You think you know better than I do. So anyway, I'd done this video last night, but it was a little late. And I really didn't have all my thoughts together, which sometimes I don't anyway. But sometimes things just have to come to me while I'm doing the video. I don't use a script. I try just to think about what I'm going to say and kind of leave it stored up here. And it's not always organized, but you get my point and I get it out. Man up and grow a pair. Quit letting that woman dictate. Don't you dictate, but you assert a certain level of authority in a godly way. I've been with my wife for 26 and a half, 27 years. We were together for almost 2 before I asked her to marry me. September 24th was 25 years that we've been together. We have a 17-year-old since August and a 15-year-old since November. I grew up in a home where my daddy was whipped. I mean, had sex withheld when they got when Mama got mad. She didn't get her way. So that's another thing. Don't let yourself be whipped. Don't even let them, I'm sure you've already done, caused this thought. It's already too late, but you can reverse it. You can change it. Don't let them think they got control over you over that vagina. That's what they want you to believe. What they want to believe. He'll do whatever I want to do because he knows if he don't, that's it for him for life. And then they wonder why, which I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning this at all, but then they wonder why you start running around on them. That's messed up. Stop letting it happen. Have a sex war. What I mean by that is, she wants to withhold. There's no, she's probably been withholding for weeks or months anyway. So what difference does it make to you if she withholds, days or weeks longer? Make her break, and make sure that she doesn't use another man to break. If she does, that's grounds for divorce. All because she couldn't make you listen to her anymore. Don't let that vagina be the superpower. It's a sin anyway for either one of you to withhold sex from the other one. But if she's the one that's starting it and been doing it, and says, well, if you do this, I'll give you sex tonight, and then turn right around, she's got a headache, or turn right around, oh, I'm cramping, or turn right around, oh, I'm bleeding. Bullshit, girl. You didn't intend on giving it up anyway. You just wanted, the control. You wanted to be able to buy that $500 item. Stop letting her whip you. Get your balls out of her purse. Reattach them and man up. Reattach them. Have a discussion with God in private. Ask Him to lead, guide, and direct you in this whole thing. And then man up. Don't just do yourself a favor, do your family a favor. It's not just about your soul at Judgment Day. It's about your kids' souls too, and what you're representing, and how they're being raised up, and what they're seeing from Daddy. Because unfortunately, I know I wasn't one of those cases, but a lot of times, men and women, or boys and girls, when they get raised up like this, they believe that's how a relationship's supposed to be, and then they in turn allow that same treatment to go on for them, and it's just a circle that was created because you didn't grab control of it to begin with, and then they get with some shady people, and they get treated that way. And then they have kids, and their kids get raised to see that, and so on and so forth. It's a vicious cycle. Make it stop right here. Make it stop right here. Even if your kids are already grown and gone, they've got their own families, you can still start doing it, and then you can let them see you. You can let them see the results when you get around them. And possibly they'll see you even doing it, and they'll take you outside and go, Dad, what was that about? You ain't never did that. You ain't never acted like that with Mom. We liked it. What happened? Well, somebody told me I needed to man up, and they were right. You need to do the same thing. Man up. Get off the damn rainbow and man up. Quit being a soy boy. Man up. Stop wearing them shitty ass man buns and man up. Look like you got a pile of shit tied up in the damn rubber band up on top of your head. You ain't no girl. Man up. You ain't no damn sumo wrestler either. Man up. That's all I got, or all I can think of right this second. I feel my body starting to wind down. I took a couple sleeping pills. That's kind of part of my routine in the evenings nowadays. It helps me out. Anyway, you guys take care of yourself. Please. Please. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say. Don't take anything I said the wrong way, because it wasn't meant that way. But if you do, ain't nothing I can do about it. That's on you. Take care. Try to stay warm. Be safe. Later.